Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Project XTalk, your new weekly podcast all about Xbox. We come to you every Sunday on YouTube and Spotify, so be sure to subscribe and get notified of our uploads. I'm Kevin, your host for this week, and unfortunately, Aman is unable to join us, but I'm joined by my two other great co-hosts, Tom and Garrett. How you guys doing today?
I'm
Hey,
doing
guys.
wonderful.
Obviously, big talking point this week, the countdown to next generation of games. By the time everyone else is hearing this, the Xbox Series X will be only 2 days away. So how are we feeling about that? What's everyone's hype level about?
Woo! I'm in game pression right now. I feel like I'm at that weird ambient waiting scene in El Chapo where he just sort of walks around the pool and looks off into the distance. That's sort of my mental state right now. Just
I'm
waiting.
struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling to find the will to play games this week, knowing that it's there next week and everything will be so much better.
Yeah.
I cannot play a game for like more than 10, 20 minutes without swapping to another one just because I don't know. I don't want to play this anymore. I'm done.
Yep. I don't want to watch Doom Eternal on my OG Xbox One anymore. I can't. So, well, obviously I'll be here before we know it. But in the meantime, let's jump into this news roundup for the week. Not much news this week, guys. First topic, EA has announced that Jedi Fallen Order is coming to Game Pass November 10th on launch day. Obviously, that's pretty exciting news. Another game for us all to check out and experience 4K 60 with the new console. Other than that, we have there was a Ryse 2 leak. Leaked documents suggest that Crytek is working on a sequel to the launch title for the Xbox One. And also a battle royale set in the Crysis universe. No real details came from this leak other than they're working on Ryse and a battle royale. I'd be down for Ryse. I really enjoyed that launch title, to be honest. What do you guys think?
I have not played Ryse. It looked real good, but I've never gotten around to it. From what I saw, it looked like it was just like a lot of QTEs, and
yeah, there
it
were
really pushed me away from it.
A lot of quick time events, mainly for like the execution kills. I like the story graphically at the time. It was really good. It was one of the launch titles that was like, wow, this is a next gen looking game. But there were so many quick time events for so many things in that game that it kind of brought down the gameplay experience.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you guys, but just in addition to, they'd have to revamp that multiplayer system. I did not appreciate that. It was very clunky. So if they streamline the hell out of that, they could definitely have something. And they don't have to stick with just the whole Rome thing, right? Like they could even take the storyline from that Barbarian show that's on Netflix. That could be a Ryse game I was looking at. A very good Ryse game, actually. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they do something good with it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's kind of been an IP a prison right now. Microsoft fighting with Crytek over who owns the rights and if there's going to be a sequel. So I guess we'll see in the future if that comes out. The only other topic we have this week is Todd Howard's been doing the rounds for interviews. He talked a little bit about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. So Todd Howard says that Bethesda is rebuilding the engine for the next generation of games, says that there'll be new animations that lead to better movement renderings, better pathing, and some of the world will be procedurally generated. It says that Starfield will be fully single player, no multiplayer component. They'll make use of the procedural generation techniques, but the world's not going to be random. NPCs will play a big role, larger, more expansive cities. It's going to be 4 times larger than Fallout 76. And both Elder Scrolls and Starfield will launch day one on Game Pass, which I think we already knew. That's really all there is from his interviews. Obviously, he can't really say much more. The games haven't been shown. And from the sounds of what he says, they're not going to be shown anytime soon.
Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long for Elder Scrolls. I want at least a little bit of footage instead of a dragon flying over a scene. It's not enough for me.
Oh, for the Elder Scrolls, yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope they start to step away from the whole just explore, gather, loot up, go back to base and that loop. I really like the dialogue choices of their earlier games with Mass Effect Or sorry, not Mass Effect. Fallout 3. Sorry, I was just talking about that in the pre-show with Amon. But yeah, if they could step away from just this is a looter shooter with an RPG game strapped on, I think it'll do wonders.
Yeah, well, he says the engine revamp will be like when they went from Morrowind to Oblivion. So it's not a completely new engine. They're just revamping it to make things look a little better. Maybe some less jank in their games. I think we can all agree that'll be pretty good. You won't have to mod Skyrim to make it playable at certain points.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest holdbacks of that company. I'm still surprised that they're like as big as they are when it comes out as well. It comes out as a Bethesda game. They're their own adjective, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, they make great games, like storytelling wise, gameplay wise. There's just a lot of bugs and a lot of jank. So hopefully the new engine gets rid of that. Everything else sounds like what we expect. I predict we're going to see Starfield before Elder Scrolls. I think Elder Scrolls is probably further off in the timeline. Yeah. So that's really all the news we have this week. So I thought we'd spend the rest of the podcast to do our fun topic. We're going to say goodbye to Xbox One and we're moving into the new generation Xbox Series X a few days away. So we're going to say goodbye to our Xbox One consoles by ranking our top 10 Xbox One games of this generation. They don't have to be console exclusive. They do just have to be playable on Xbox, and that can count for Game Pass, PC as well. So if you can play it in the Xbox ecosystem, it's eligible for this list. The way it's going to work, we'll have one person start, give their number 5 list. We'll go around, we'll rank the list. And then as we introduce more games to the list, we'll have to debate what games are going to fall off, who's going to go above what. So it should be a good time. I hope you guys will enjoy this for a little more fun, less news-heavy podcast this week. So I thought we'd start with you, Garrett.
Well, actually, I was going to get Amon's thing out of the way first so I don't forget it.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I was do his little thing. So for number 1 or number 5 spot, he had Batman Arkham Knight. Number 4, Titanfall 2. 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Number 2, Fallout 4. Number 1, Outer Worlds, and honorable mentions was Forza Horizon 4 and Sea of Thieves.
All right, so we have Amon's list of 5. So what I think we'll do first before we go into ours is we'll rank Amon's top 5. Obviously, he can't be here to defend his top 5, so it's really up to us to decide where we think these games belong on our list right now before we maybe kick them off or drop them down a few places. So out of the list he gave, which game do you guys think is the best? Which deserves to be number 1 from the start?
Ooh.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 would probably be the closest contention. Like, if Outer Worlds was more cooked and like was a more fuller world, that was definitely be in contention for me. But you could tell they weren't as a big studio as Bethesda at the time, really, with Outer Worlds, I thought. So yeah.
Okay, that's 2 votes for Fallout 4. I'm not going to win that battle. So we'll move on. We'll move on to number 2. What do we think? I'm gonna say it right now. I think Resident Evil 2 Remake's got to go number 2.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that game and I had so much fun with it.
If I was to do number 2, it'd definitely be Batman Arkham Knight. Even though a lot of people didn't like all the driving scenes with the tank that he had, I thought the game was great, and I would definitely put it on the top 3. If it's not on my personal list, but I would.
Sounds like Garrett and I are voting RE2. I have no problem putting Batman 3rd. You good with that, Garrett?
I can't say anything about Batman. I am probably the least superhero video game guy that you will ever meet. Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking.
I think 3rd is respectable.
I think it's good. It's a good game. It's not as good as the rest of the series, but I think 3rd is respectable to start. And that leaves us with Outer Worlds and Titanfall 2. for fourth place. My vote, I'm gonna go Titanfall 2.
Yeah, Titanfall 2, then Outer Worlds.
I think
Those ones,
Titanfall
definitely.
2 was a fantastic shooter for this generation. I think it got unlucky the time it came out. It was really sent out to die.
What was it? It came out with like Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty right off the rip, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I have no idea what they were thinking putting that game out at the time it did. I would say it's better than both those games, in my opinion, but it was sent out to die. And number 5 will be Outer Worlds.
I agree with that.
All right. Okay, so Garrett, now let's get into your list so we can get some debate.
On to my list. All right. Okay, so as 5, and I can't stress this enough, do not include the facial animations, but I love the shooting and Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda for number 5. Number 5.
Andromeda.
Yeah. I hated the intro scene with that, like the spaceship when you're on there for like 4 hours, it seemed like. But the rest of that game where you'd always go back to your world and you actually saw it grow, I really like that aspect of it. But moving on. All right, come on, notepad, switch over.
So I'm going to actually back you up here. I don't think Mass Effect Andromeda is as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It gets a little repetitive. The gameplay, you're doing the same thing for the whole game. I actually beat the whole game. I didn't mind the animations. I could look past those low glitches. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's not as good as the rest of the Mass Effect series. Personally, I would put this above Outer Worlds if I was making the list. But I want to hear what Tom has to say about Mass Effect.
I am extremely disappointed in Garrett for adding that to his list. Was it a playable game after it was patched? Yeah, but was it still like top 5 worthy? I do not think so.
Well,
that's definitely bargain bin.
I had different games for this list. Up until like 2 hours before the show, I was under the thing that we're under Xbox exclusives. I have like 3 lists on my phone right now. I'm just giving you the final revision.
All right. So voting time. Who thinks it deserves to be above Outer Worlds? I do.
Yeah, Outer Worlds. Yeah, I would put it as it had more choice in it.
Really?
Like Outer Worlds.
I would put it number 6 at this point. Outer Worlds is way better game.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
we unfortunately got the votes.
Yeah.
All right. So it's above Outer Worlds right now. Who thinks it deserves to be above Titanfall 2?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. That would be crazy talk. Okay.
Yeah. So
right. Tom.
4?
No, we're gonna do.
Oh, we were doing cycle. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna cycle. Tom, number 5. Hit me with it.
My number 5 game. I chose this one because I have over 1,000 hours on it. It's a game that I can always come back to. It's easy to get into. It's fast, competitive. The esports scene is like really freaking good. If you ever want to play soccer with your car, just play Rocket League. I love Rocket League.
Great choice. If
it wasn't for a shitty roommate, I would play that. I can't say anything about that game either way, so you guys could do with that game what you will.
I'm terrible at Rocket League, but me and my friends have put hundreds of hours into that game. I can certainly see it in a top 10 list right now for where we're at. So if we had to vote, where do you think, Tom? If you had to put it on the current, knowing the top 6 right now, where would you throw Rocket League? And I'll see if I agree with you.
Man. I would have to put it over Batman, personally.
So you want it number 3?
Yeah.
It's fun.
You know what? Hot take.
How dare you be so controversial yet so brave?
I agree with you. Rocket League took off. It's huge esport.
Oh yeah, I can't deny that.
Constantly. And the mechanics, everything about the game is fantastic. So I would agree with it going over Batman. All right, so it's my turn. We're gonna start off with hopefully not too controversial. I'm gonna save my controversial picks for later. My number 5 game, And it was a tough choice between this one and Halo 5 for me. This generation, I'm ultimately going to choose the game I'm going to name, which is Destiny 1. I
love that game.
I remember being so excited for this game. It was Bungie's first game since leaving the Halo IP. They kept the first-person shooter style. They moved away from the Halo universe, obviously. My only issues with this game is like Halo is so known for like its story content. That's really like the campaign modes. I love Halo for that, and I feel like Destiny falls very short of that. And I feel like it's due to them putting a lot of the story content in like the lore that you have to go read online or look up in the game. There is a lot of lore and deep story in Destiny, which is really cool. The problem is it's not easily accessible. It's not told to you through playing the game. And ultimately it got a little repetitive, grindy. It went really hard into games as a service, which I'm not a big fan of. So I can only give it my top 5. And that's specifically because it's really fun with friends. The raids I thought were fantastic. The amount of times I did Vault of Glass and Crota's, and they're just really fun to do with parties. So I'm throwing Destiny on the list. And if I had to pick, I would put it above Rocket League at 3. But that's up for you guys to. What do you guys think?
I can't judge on the Rocket League part, but like it's a pretty good nostalgic game for me. Like I still put in that for sure. That's one of my games. Can't say the other games I still put in because they're on my list, but I would say yeah, definitely around the 3 or 4 mark. Like either side of Rocket League. I'm not sure.
I agree with putting it over Rocket League. When Destiny 1 came out, I was playing that game for like 15, 16 hours a day for at least like a 3-month period. Clearly, I was unemployed, but
No, he was doing these work hours.
It's a real good game. I think it compared to Destiny 2, I think it has a lot more nostalgic value for me. Definitely with playing with all my friends. I agree with it being a number 3 pick.
All right. Well, that was easy. I didn't really have to fight for that one. All right, Garrett, hit me with number 4.
Master Chief Collection. It had to be up there somewhere. It was hard for which number it was going to be, like 2, 3, or 4 for me. But yeah, the Master Chief Collection. It's just a good old collection of nostalgia, as far as I'm concerned. Like, yes, it came out since like the original Xbox all the way through, but the collection came out for the Xbox One. Thank you very much. So I'm counting it. And I still play Infection all the time. Whenever I'm bored, I'll play some Infection on some random game. Or just, snipe some people in Blood Gulch.
Yeah, so the Master Chief Collection is a game that I'm working on playing through. I want to beat all the Halos right before Infinite comes out, which I was going to power through, and then it got delayed. In terms of where it is right now, I think Master Chief Collection is fantastic. I think it's a great game. Multiplayer is still very active. You can always hop in, play with your friends, some campaign co-op. I have no problem with it being on the list. It's certainly a fantastic title that they put out. My only issue is with putting it high on the list, maybe, and I don't know where you want to rank it.
No.
But is the game came out in such a broken state, it wasn't good. Like it's just now, like recently gotten to a place where I would say,
yeah, but that's sort of in the crime of this generation, as far as I'm concerned. They saved their money by making us our own beta testers. And every company did it. Like, yeah. There's no, like, dude, name a game that came out fully polished. One, please. I dare you. Witcher, actually. Clap to Witcher 3, because that came out pretty polished. But other than that, I can't think of one that came out that I wasn't doing, like, weird backflips or falling through the world at awkward points.
All right. I think what are your feelings on Master Chief Collection, Tom?
Great game. Easily one of the top shooters of previous generations. But does it deserve to be on this list? I for sure think it does. It's a really good game. the fact that you can play 5 separate campaigns because they added ODST on there recently.
Yep.
There's a lot of content to go through in that game, and just playing the multiplayer. If you just leave like everything checked off, you just end up in any random game. You might end up in Halo 1, 3, 4. It's just so fun, and there's so many game modes that go along with it. Yeah, it's a good game.
All right. I think we'll decide how this gets on the list. Who thinks it deserves to be above Outer Worlds?
Yes. Like, I don't know. It's the Master Chief Collection. Come on, man.
I don't, just because should it be on this list? Yeah, but I'm also hesitant because it's a remaster.
I agree with Tom, unfortunately. As much as I like Master Chief Collection more than Outer Worlds, but I think it belongs below it in terms of ranking a top 10 list.
I'm sorry, Chief. I tried, Chief.
So yeah, we're putting Master Chief Collection below Outer Worlds.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, fine.
Tom, number 4.
So number 4, if you guys played this game, I should be pretty surprised. One of my favorite genres is roguelikes.
Okay.
And I feel like I had to add Binding of Isaac on there. Binding of Isaac. It's a really fun game. You pretty much play a bald and naked kid going through your way to hell, all to face your mortal enemy, your mother. It's a really fun game. It's all the levels that you play, they're all generated differently. There's power-ups that you go through, and it's just a really hard game to actually beat. But when you ever do beat it, when you get the perfect set of random items to get you through the game, it's just such a good time.
I have not played it. The only roguelike I've played is For the King, which I played with friends a little bit. It's not really my genre of games. I know that Hades is getting praised right now, and that's been called a roguelite, right? Like it has some roguelike gameplay elements, but it's not exactly a roguelike. So I can't really give my opinion on this one. Have you played it, Garrett?
Yeah. Neither can I. Like the only games that I really got to in the roguelike category is Surge. Did you guys ever try that one? The Surge?
Nah, I've never heard of it.
See, that's more of like a Souls-like, though. I guess you can consider those roguelikes too, though, in a way. I added this one fully expecting it to not make it to the top 10, by the way. But
you gotta shoot a shot.
Hey, it's in the first row, too. I still think it's technically in the top 10 because we've only went through the list twice, right?
It is currently in the top 10 so far.
It's just not going to be there for long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we all got probably some picks that are gonna get.
I've definitely got some ones on there.
I mean,
but we'll get to those.
I personally can't, since I haven't played it, it would struggle for me to put it above any of these other ones.
Yeah.
Well, then
I don't know. My number 1 is probably the most controversial.
If you feel strongly that it should be above any of these other games, you let me know. Yeah. Might be able to convince me.
Do you think that? Convince us that the Master Chief deserves to take a knee to this game that neither of us have ever heard of.
I've heard of it.
This game would definitely go over Master Chief Collection, and that's where I would put it. It's an indie title. It's not super popular, but for me, I would not put it over Master Chief still.
Okay,
so I've heard of it. I know it's well received in the gaming community. I've just never played it because it's not my type of game.
Okay, I've never even heard of it.
So you're saying it should go above Master Chief Collection?
No, under. Master Chief under. Sorry, I misspoke. Sorry.
Okay, all right. I mean, I was fine putting it over, but we'll keep it under.
Okay. Oh, you guys just made. All right. I'm sorry. I hope we all play Halo Infinite. I'm gonna frag the shit.
Oh, I'm gonna play Halo Infinite, definitely. Yeah. So I think it's my turn for number 4, right?
Yep.
All right. This is a game I touched on last week. It's gonna make my top 5. Is A Plague Tale. I touched this. I started this game last Sunday on Game Pass, and this game absolutely blew me away. It's from Asobo. They're the people that did Microsoft Flight Simulator. It just came out last year. It's a third-person stealth horror type game. The gameplay is super fantastic. You have levels where you have to sprint and hop over things to get away from enemies, or you have levels where you're more stealth-based, where you have to hide behind things, use the environment to distract enemies, use your weapons to kill them, use the environment to kill them. It's just really good. It even looks pretty good on my OG Xbox One, and I know that's hard to believe, but it does. The characters are great. The story's great. If I had to put this on the list, I would put this above Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's very fair. I didn't play it all the way through, but I got about halfway through the game. I'd put it, yeah.
Wow, I would say I would put it under Titanfall, but I'm outvoted. But I think it's a good game. I loved it. The rats all around the world makes it definitely creepy, and I hate rats. Like, imagine one crawls up my leg right now and just bites me. I'll freak out, man. That's one of my biggest fears. keep rats away from me.
Yeah, the rats in that game, they basically act, if anyone hasn't played it, they act like the the locusts in Gears of War, where if you leave the light, they'll swarm you and just eat you alive. It's great. The puzzle solving to get around those rats was a lot of fun. It's a pretty short game. I think I beat it in like 10, 12 hours because I blew through it in a few days. So I would go above Titanfall 2, below Batman.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to you, Garrett. Hit me with number 3.
For my number 3 spot, I played the game through probably 2-3 times, but it is a lot older, so we might not have a good memory of it. But Sunset Overdrive. I love going around the city on the rails and shooting shit up. It was a great, relaxing game. Because there's some days that you just get off work and you want to kill 10,000 somethings. That was that game for me. Like that and Dead Rising, really. But Dead Rising doesn't belong on this list.
I haven't played it. I've heard great things about it. Obviously, Insomniac made it. And we all know that they're a fantastic developer. So I really can't give my opinion on Sunset Overdrive. I know my brother played it. He liked it a lot. So I'm I only have good things that I've heard about it. What about you, Tom?
I really liked that game. I felt like it was a combination of, have you ever played Jet Set Radio?
Yeah.
And Dead Rising? That's what I feel like. And it's the movement in that game is real fluid. I love the visuals of the game. And even now, like, it doesn't look dated at all. And I really want a Sunset Overdrive 2. Please, one day, Insomniac. Even if it's on PS5, I might even consider like getting one a little earlier just to play it.
All right. So if we had to vote, are we putting it above Binding of Isaac?
I can't.
You can't. I mean,
what is our list at right now?
As it stands, Fallout 4, Resident Evil 2, Destiny 1, Rocket League, Batman Arkham Knight, A Plague Tale, Titanfall 2, Mass Effect Andromeda, Outer Worlds, and Master Chief Collection are the top 10. So I guess Binding of Isaac is 11th. So would you put it above Master Chief Collection? Would you put it above Master Chief Collection? There's the question. Are we knocking Master Chief Collection off for Sunset Overdrive?
Nah. Well, we are eventually, no matter what. Like, that's difficult.
But for Sunset Overdrive?
Like, I would put it honestly above Plague Tale. Like, I really like Sunset. But then again, like,
he's coming out.
It was a lot of fun too, man. Like, I played games, man. This is a hard call.
He's coming out swinging here. He wants it above Master Chief, Outer Worlds, Mass Effect Andromeda, Titanfall 2, and A Plague Tale.
Oh, you should see my number 1 spot, man. Oh, you think this is swinging. I am a very different kind of
It definitely is a fun game, but I don't know.
Yeah, what's your vote?
My vote is it doesn't make the list.
Oh, that's how bad.
I don't think I can put it over Master Chief Collection.
I feel like we made a mistake by putting Master Chief Collection at number 10.
Yo, really?
But-
Really?
now that it's there, I can't put
Yeah,
Sunset Overdrive
see?
over it.
Like, see, so it just
This is the fun of the list. This is the fun of the list, guys. This is what I was hoping for.
God, this is man,
All right.
Master Chief. This is a sad,
Honorable
sad day.
mention: Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
relegated. Okay.
I can't believe we put the MCC. God damn.
Tom?
I'm sorry, Chief.
Number 3.
So my number 3 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's not my favorite Assassin's Creed title overall. That one is for Assassin's Creed 2. But Odyssey is definitely on this list for me because I feel like it completely changed the game and also made it into a full role-playing game. I love all the loot mechanics in the game. It really feels a lot like Diablo 3 in that way, where you can just go through, make a bunch of different builds, and do a bunch of different side quests. And there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. Even the post DLC content in this game just adds so much to it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm really excited for Valhalla. If it's anything like Odyssey, I'm going to love the game.
Garrett, thoughts?
I completely agree with him on this. I actually completely forgot about Assassin's Creed. That would probably take Sunset in my list.
So,
yeah,
hot take here, guys. I'm coming in with a hot take. I don't like Assassin's Creed games. I liked Prince of Persia games, and I feel like this obviously came from them, but I do not enjoy Assassin's Creed games. I find them boring. I cannot get into them. That being said, I am not about to shit on Odyssey because I have heard from literally everyone in my life that this game is amazing. They have over 100 hours into it. They love the story. They love the gameplay. They love the RPG elements. So I'm completely fine with this making the list if we can decide where it should go.
well,
I would put
I'm
this
sorry,
game over
Chief. This is
Resident Evil.
happening. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, I'd put it over Resident Evil. Like it's at the top.
Number 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's got the
That's real
vote.
high. That's real high.
That is real high. That is real high. And that, unfortunately, knocks Master Chief Collection off the list.
Yeah.
May it rest in peace. So, my number 3, also an older game, came out at the beginning of the generation. I have BioWare sequel to Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition. This might have been the last good game that BioWare made, guys. Because what have they done since then? Mass Effect Andromeda and what is it? Anthem. That's how forgettable Anthem is. So I put this game on the list because, first of all, it's a fantastic RPG, and it doesn't do anything wrong. Like, the story's good, voice acting's good, soundtrack's good, combat's fantastic. It has great RPG elements where you interact with your party members. The romance aspects of the game are really good. This is BioWare at its best, and like I said, we haven't seen this BioWare in a very long time. So I think this deserves to be on the list. I would put it above Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, I would put it. Definitely, you have the right spot for it as far as I consider. Wait, where was Mass Effect Andromeda on the list?
In between Titanfall 2 and Mass Effect Andromeda. So I would put it below Titanfall 2.
Below Titanfall 2. I don't know, man. I think it was better than Titanfall 2.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely better than Titanfall 2.
And like the only thing that like Titanfall 2, its drawback for me was just like its steep bell curve, man. Like that thing was almost the same story as like how everyone can admit that we liked Fortnite for the first 2 seasons.
No,
it was a cool new
Fortnite
thing. Really?
Start, yeah.
Yeah. It was just when everyone went builder pro in that game and people could throw up a tower in 3 seconds that I was like, I can't keep up with this. I got a living.
All right,
I can't do this all day.
You guys
But,
are pulling my pick higher than I was going to put it. Okay, so above Titanfall 2, do we think it goes above A Plague Tale?
I would put it there too. I'd put it higher. I think it's definitely a way better game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we got to start knocking these
Okay.
ones down.
All right. It's
Yeah.
okay. Batman? Does it go above Batman?
Batman, I'm against superhero games, so keep her going. Let's.
I
All right.
can't put it above Batman. I love Batman too much.
Can't? Okay.
All right. What's your
All
vote?
right. So
Your vote comes down to it.
it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall underneath Batman, in between A Plague Tale. All right, and that knocks Outer Worlds out of the top 10. We're getting down to the good picks here, guys. It's time to start. Our top 2. Garrett, number 2. Hit me with it.
My number 2 surprise was already on the list. It was Odyssey.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like.
And it's
I
already
sort of
number 2 on
revised
our
it.
list.
That's it's. Yeah. I forgot about that game, so I just sort of the one that I had on there before was I would say Gears 4. I really love that game. Gears 5 goes in honorable mention simply because I didn't finish it. Like I only got up to Act 2, but I really, really liked Gears 4 as far as shooters go.
I think you went
prefer it over Halo.
I think you went with the better choice for your list, because I wouldn't put Gears 4 or Gears 5 in the top 10 of this generation. I don't think they're nearly as good as the original trilogy.
Yeah, but the original trilogy wasn't technically around, right? We'd have to put in the remaster category, and we all know what happened to the Master Chief. God rest.
All right.
Now, if we get a repeat, do we get to re-vote where we want it on the list?
Well, we can discuss that at the end.
I will, at the end of the show, I will read our list, and if there's any we disagree with, we can switch around the top 10.
Yeah. So I took out Gears and put in Odyssey because I completely forgot about that, and it took my spot.
Odyssey is currently
and the number 1
2.
I'm saving all my arguing for. So
all right, Odyssey is currently number 2, and I think it's going to stay there for now, unless Tom has something to say about it towards the end of the show. But Tom, what's your number 2 pick?
My number 2 pick is actually Halo Master Chief Collection.
Wow.
Yes.
That's why I was wondering if we can move back up on the list. I mean, I've already talked about it before. I mean, it has all the campaigns. The multiplayer is just really good. Even though it has a divisive, Halo 4, which not a lot of people liked, the majority of the package is great. Even if it is a remaster, it's still one of the best shooters of just technical generation.
Okay, guys, we just kicked it off the list 2 rounds ago. Do we think it should be put back on the list? And should Mass Effect Andromeda fall off the list?
Yes.
Yeah, get Andromeda out of there. I don't
Yeah,
even, it should be on this anyways.
I'm good with that as well. Do we put Master Chief Collection above Titanfall 2?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to say yeah. I enjoyed Master Chief Collection a lot more than Titanfall 2, even though that is a good game too.
All right. I can agree with that. Do we put it above A Plague Tale? I say no.
All right, that's
Master
where it lies.
Chief
I think yes.
Coming back from the dead to currently sit at 9th. It went from off the list back to 9th. You can't keep Halo down. All right, so Master Chief Collection rising from the grave to claim number 9th. So, time for my really, really controversial pick that I don't expect to make the list, but I need to fight for this game. And it's a game that is now dead, and it's a travesty that it's dead. It is Battleborn. Gearbox's hero shooter MOBA hybrid that they came out at the same time as Overwatch. And I'm going to be more controversial here. This game is better than Overwatch, and if Overwatch wasn't made by Blizzard, no one would care. I do not enjoy Overwatch in the slightest. This game was fantastic. It had a story mode, like Borderlands, had all the Gearbox humor. It had multiplayer, which was really unique for this type of, we never saw a game like this before. It had modes Meltdown, Incursion, where Meltdown particularly, you would take bots and fight against the other enemy's heroes and get them into their base and lead them into this grinder to do damage and get points. Incursion is your basic MOBA. You break into their base, you destroy the giant crystal. It pains me to this day because Battleborn's characters are so much more interesting. The art style is beautiful. The gameplay is really deep and intricate, and I just love it. It has a gear system that it really everything I love about this game. The problem with this game was Overwatch overshadowed it. Everyone compared the two, even though they were completely different games. And Battleborn has a much higher skill entry. You can't just pick up Battleborn and play it. It's not as easy to get into as Overwatch is. And I will concede that point. You have to actually come up with strategies and know how your character works. And I mean, I'm not saying you don't have to do that in Overwatch, but it's not as simple as like most people that play a first-person shooter can pick up Overwatch and know what they're doing. If you try to do that in this game, it will not succeed. So I'm throwing it out there, Battleborn, and I have put probably 1,000 hours into this game. I would put it very high in the list, but I know you two aren't going to agree. So let me hear the comments.
Actually, I just about completely agree with you. I was playing that game. I thought it was better, but there was just nobody to play with within like a month of that game coming out.
Yep.
So, and it wasn't even a month. Like, that shit dropped off so quick. Like,
yeah, the player base declined so fast. Me and my friends, we would have a party. We'd have a full squad. We'd go in every night, and eventually we just started seeing the same teams over and over and over.
Yep.
So it had its dedicated player base, but it wasn't enough to survive.
So Battleborn,
it was an underappreciated game. That's for sure.
I didn't get to play Battleborn at launch.
Mm-hmm.
I love League of Legends. I love Smite. I love MOBAs. So eventually, when I wanted to get that game, I found it in a bargain bin for $5, and there was no one to play with.
Yep.
That's just it. I never really got a chance to experience the full Battleborn. I got in a couple games, but from what I played, I did enjoy it. I can see why you would add it on the list if I was able to play it more. I can definitely see possibly getting it on here, but
yeah.
The fact that
I wouldn't put it on the list, but top of the honorable mention.
I will take top of the honorable mentions. I expected everyone to completely discredit this game, especially when I started going in at Overwatch. I'm glad to see that Battleborn wasn't as ridiculed as I imagined. Because it is a good
Overwatch
game.
I find is like it's too technical because like I like to try MOBAs, but I'm always like a tiny bit late to the party. Battleborn was the only one that actually got in on day one because like those fucking people in Overwatch are vicious.
Yeah, my problem with Overwatch is you die way too quick in Overwatch for like I cannot survive long enough and maybe that's people will probably tell me to get good, but I felt like in Battleborn I didn't die in 2 hits. I had strategies I could do with my character. I could tank some damage. I could had these roles. I healer. I mean obviously all those are in Overwatch, but I just feel like the damage to health ratio in Overwatch is so off for me. Like I can't maintain it, and it's just a game I could never get into. So,
I just have one thing to say about that.
Yeah.
Get good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, but when everyone's just whooping your ass when you show up, you can't get good.
Honorable mentions, Battleborn. May it rest in peace.
Okay, so I gotta say my number one spot.
That's right. Everyone's top
Tooth
spot
and
right
nail.
now. Go for it.
This game, I had to study dubiously for it, and I would have had Fallout 4 on my list as like the top one, but Amon put that on right away, so I had to do some revisions. I'm gonna say Sea of Thieves. Now, hear me out before everyone gets all whack. It was a live service game that had an active dev diary where they're openly trying to engage with the audience. And it was the one game that it really nailed the whole head of the thing there with you are your story. There are some days that I go out just calmly fishing with me and a buddy, chatting it up just over live mic, right? Because there are those times where you can't really find a game and you're just sort of sitting in party chat with your few usual buddies and you can't really agree on something. So you're like, you guys want to hop on a brig and go fishing? Like, sure. And then 3 hours later, you're fighting a galleon while Kraken comes up and swallows them, and you think you're getting away fine. And then all of a sudden, another sloop comes in and kamikazes you, and you thought that it was going to be nothing, but it turns out that it was some crazy ass streamer. And yeah, it was just an ever evolving, constant game for me. That it was only boring if you were a boring player, I found.
So
So
my
yeah, that's
experience
my
with Sea of Thieves, first of all, I want to say I love Rare as a company. When I saw Sea of Thieves, like their first reveal trailer, I was all in. I was like, I'm going to be a pirate. This game looks so fun. Came out on launch. I played it day one with my friends. We got on our ship. We went out sailing. I was like, wow, the water looks beautiful. This whole world is beautiful. But it just was so empty. I didn't know what to do. And I think this is why I don't enjoy Sea of Thieves, is because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And the way you're saying, you're supposed to make your own story. That's my problem, is I don't have a creative bone in my body. I can't go make my own story. I would like a story mode where I can play with my friends and mess around as a pirate, because all the mechanics that are there, I think Sea of Thieves is really good mechanically. It looks beautiful. I can understand why people like it. It's a social hour. It lets you have fun with your friends being a pirate. Like, who wouldn't want to be a pirate? I just personally played it for like a week and then dropped it because I just could not get into it. And I understand that I've put way more content in since then, and maybe I'm doing it a disservice by not checking it out again. But
we should definitely put it as a session game. I'll say that much. I could show you guys. Like, I haven't done too much with the last few updates because I got Pirate Legend back when they were first, right before they were introducing the fishing mechanics. So I haven't played too much since then because that's when my crew really fell off. But I would gladly show you that game. It's to not put good time into it is, yeah, it's almost a disservice, I would say. Because Rare, they got a piece of my heart with that game.
It has the best water mechanics out of every game, period.
Oh, yeah.
definitely true.
Yeah, dude. If you're going to be sitting on there for the next, 3,000 hours, best look good. Okay.
I definitely would have put it on my list, but it's really a good game for sure. And I would definitely like to play a session at some point.
I'm down to try a session and see what I'm missing. As of right now, based on what I played, I would not put it on my top 10 list. I would put it in honorable mention with a little asterisk that, maybe the new content is what I'm missing. I'm not sure it is, but I can't put it above any of the ones we have on this list currently.
I tried, Rare. Like, I thought you belonged up there with Fallout. Like, you were special to me. I'm getting bullied on this chat. I would put it right. I would put it as like 2 Fallout, or what's the list right now for number 1, number 2, number 3?
Fallout 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I would put it number 2. Like, Odyssey,
Wow.
I did love, but I'm a multiplayer gamer. Like, I can't. Like, this generation, I just can't really engage in that per se, especially with how our world works right now. It's a social time. Gaming's a social experience for me. I like to talk to my friends and keep up with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why Among Us is so huge right now.
Yeah. Right? The game's been out for 3 years, and it's just everyone plays it.
How do you feel, Tom?
Ah, man. I if I was to put it on the list, what's our 10?
Fallout. What's our number 10?
Yeah, what's our 10?
Titanfall 2.
No, I can't put it on the list.
I can't put it on the list either. I had more fun multiplayer Titanfall 2. Calling in those giant robots. It was just fun. A good time.
Yeah. We should almost have done like a micro many lists by genre. Like shooters almost should have their own category, honestly.
I mean, there's more chances for that. I mean, it's almost the end of the year.
Next generation. We'll do a game of the year list at some point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, viewers, remember this is only like our 4th or 5th show.
If you feel Sea of Thieves was unjustly not put on the list, please let us know. Tom, number 1, what you got?
All right, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but the amount of time that I played on this game, both on the PC version, Xbox version, hell, even mobile, and I always find myself coming back to like every new update. My number 1 game is Minecraft. So it's if you play with friends, it's such a good game. Such a good game.
I've been defending Minecraft for the fact. How dare you? I felt alone.
So I know that Kevin was talking badly about it on Twitter the other day. Something about Smash Brothers and Steve being involved, but I think I like the game. It's a really fun game. I feel like anyone can get into it. If I ever just want to do something like quick with like for example, my wife doesn't really play games. I can get her to play Minecraft with me. And
that's actually it's the girlfriend and me game too. That and Minecraft Dungeons, ironically. It's both of them. It's a great group game. But Minecraft.
So obviously they couldn't hear our pre-show talk where I discussed
give them a catch up.
Angering Minecraft kids on Twitter. Minecraft fans. I don't know if they were children. I was just being cheeky in my tweet. But yeah, I'm a huge Super Smash Brothers fan. I do not like Minecraft. I do not like that Minecraft Steve is in Super Smash Brothers. And I made that known on Twitter, and it was not received well. Let's just say that. My only, and maybe you can call me out if you think I'm trying to get around the rules here, but my only thing is Xbox One came out in 2013 and Minecraft came out in 2011. So is it really eligible for this list?
If I was able to add Master Chief Collection into this list, I say yes.
I don't know enough about is there like a version that was released for I don't know enough about Minecraft. Is it the same? I assume they've updated it.
Okay.
And it's a different version.
Are you ready for this? I can settle it. Minecraft Bedrock only came out in 2018, and that's the edition that we all play on Xbox nowadays. So Java was it's on there.
Good enough for me. I mean, I'm not putting it on any top 10 list, but you guys can certainly debate where you feel Minecraft should go on this top 10 list, and I can be here spectating.
I would say above Plague Tale, to be honest. Like, I only got into Minecraft, like that shit, with the whole recent worldwide situation we got in. It was a social game. Like, me and my buddy started a realm. And just like the sheer, just whatever you want. Your imagination is really the limit. Like, we started a realm and now we got 40 or 50 people in there. And there's bizarre things that I still stumble across. Like, I started a little road to disperse people going down, just like, hey, newbie, go down that. And then I went back to it 2 months later. The thing spans 30,000 blocks. Like a highway, a functioning highway. And it's just, like, it's amazing to me.
I've seen people make Pokemon worlds in there. I mean, the stuff they make is cool. I just don't enjoy it as a game. So you would put it above Plague Tale at number 7. No, 8. It'd be number 8. It would knock Titanfall 2 off the list. Where would you put it, Tom?
If I would put Minecraft like at number 5. Top 5.
Number 5.
Yeah. Actually, what's our top 5 again? Like, I feel like we should have done a regular.
Fallout 4 is number 1. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is number 2. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Destiny 1. Rocket League.
I would actually put it as number 3.
Ooh, hot take.
And
That's
Step too
like
far.
it's I get the whole cultural phenomenon behind it now. I did not get it till the beginning of this whole thing, but yeah, it's understandable. That game could literally be whatever you want it to be. It's like you're trying to rate the imagination.
I said I will concede. I will concede 5th.
I'm good with 5. I can't put it the top 3.
All right. Minecraft.
I'm not really rating it on like this deserves to be in the top 3 or not. I'm just saying what I think it's better than like.
Of course.
I try like.
So that's going to knock Titanfall 2 off the list. All right. Time for my number 1. And I honestly can't believe nobody else put it in their list. It worries me. I hope you guys have played this game because it's kind of a big title, especially with the sequel coming out on next gen. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This was hands down the best game of the generation for me. If you like single player story driven games, third person action adventure game from Ninja Theory that was so good. Xbox was like, we gotta buy them. They're an indie developer, but the game looks AAA quality. The graphics are amazing. And I like the story because it deals with real issues like mental health. You know, it portrays psychosis in such a way that like we hadn't seen in video games really. You know, you listen with headphones, you have little whispers all the time. She has hallucinations in the game that affect the story that are just there to creep you out. You know, it's hack and slash mechanics. I personally cannot find a fault with this game. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. The story is amazing and heartbreaking if you're affected by mental health issues. So I would personally, for me, this is number 1. This is the hands down, unequivocally best game of this generation. And I don't know if you guys have played it. It's on Game Pass. Obviously, sequel's coming out, being hyped up by Microsoft. What do you guys think?
It was actually in my honorable mention. The only reason why I didn't have it on the list was because I'm more of a multiplayer uplifting gamer. Yeah, like, I don't know. I look at it for a release, not to get slightly stressed out and realize mental disabilities like that game. That slightly messes with you, man. That's a deep game.
It does.
Like, that's a whew.
It's definitely a fun game. I would have included it on my list too. I just wanted to be a little controversial. But yeah, that game is creepy. You know, when I played it with my headphones and I just hear everyone whispering in my ear, and it's a good game. And it also looks really good on the original Xbox, by the way.
Yeah, it does. That's why I played it on. Yeah, game's gorgeous. No matter what you play it on, I'm so pumped for the sequel. Like I said, obviously, I would put it number 1. I put it number 1 on my list. You guys have mentioned honorable mentions. I'm gonna fight for it to at least be in the top 10. I feel like it's a critically acclaimed game that made Microsoft buy the studio, which is now one of their they're pushing this as like a flagship property that they have. It has to be somewhere in the top 10 for me. If you guys disagree, let me know.
I agree it should be on the top 10.
Okay.
Where I would put it is where I'm not really sure. We have so many good games on the list now.
All right. Let's edit. I'll put it. Right now the list has 11 on it, but we're gonna go through the list and we're gonna see if any of the ones on the list currently deserve to be switched. So number 1 is Fallout 4. It's been there literally since the beginning. And me personally, I wouldn't put it that high because I don't enjoy Fallout. But I don't know what you guys feel about Fallout.
I sunk so many hours into that game, it was ridiculous. I don't know. It was the game for me. It was the single player game. Like, I think it took up 80% of my single player hours this generation. Not gonna lie. So yeah, there was no argument. It deserves to be number 1.
Well, for me, I think Fallout 4. It's a great game, definitely top 10 worthy, but it also isn't a perfect game. And I feel like number 1 is like, it's perfection. And Hellblade, there's no issues with it, and it doesn't have bugs like Fallout 4. By the way, I was playing Fallout 4 like when it first launched, and there was a couple glitches where my guy was just like literally bouncing into the air for no reason, like miles above the sky, and then landing and dying. That should not happen, but it did. I'm not saying I didn't think it was funny, but when it happened, but it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I could say I have only ever, like, I've never had a game-breaking glitch. Like, I've had those, but my guy just respawns, and I just went, haha, Bethesda, right? Because that's sort of the culture that we've developed behind them, right?
Yeah,
really, it's sort of sad that the one that we give props to is definitely the.
It's kind of what we love about Bethesda, though. Like, we know
Yeah,
there's gonna be some jank in their game, like Skyrim.
If you're playing Skyrim and you don't expect your horse to catapult, you're gonna have a bad time.
I mean, Skyrim, the first town you go to, my blacksmith got killed by a dragon who decided to randomly invade the village, and then his dead body just laid in the street for the remaining 70 plus hours that I played the game. Never got a new blacksmith.
Speaking of funny reoccurring glitches, on the latest version of Skyrim, where it has like all of them, did you guys notice that like half of your shopkeeps, no matter what load you have, just become vampires within like the first week of the game for some inexplicable reason?
No, I haven't touched
like
Skyrim
I opened up that game like not too long ago, and I've probably went through 4 playthroughs where I just like within the first 2 weeks of the or in-time game going on, I'll notice like shopkeeps start to drop, and then like you'll just see them dead with vampire shit on them. It's like, oh my god. That's all the time. I don't know what the hell's up.
You're making me not think Bethesda deal was a good thing anymore.
No, it's a great thing for Xbox. Like I said, okay, back to Hellblade. We got a little sidetracked talking about the bugs in Fallout 4. I mean, I would put it number 1 on the list. I think it deserves to be, like I said, I think it's a perfect game. I think a perfect single-player game. If we're just looking critically at what is a great game, Hellblade is a great game.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like, I don't know really what to say with it. I never played it all the way through, so it's in your guys' end.
It's pretty short.
I know when to take the knee.
It's pretty short. I would definitely recommend to just finish it at least before the next one comes out. All right, so I'm putting it number 1. Are you good with that, Tom?
I'm good with it being above Fallout.
Okay, we'll see if anything pushes it down. So right now, Hellblade, Fallout 4, Assassin's Creed. Do we think Assassin's Creed deserves to be higher?
I'm good with Assassin's Creed at number 3.
Yeah, I'm good with it there.
Okay. Resident Evil 2 Remake number 4. Should it be higher?
I think that one should be lower.
I agree.
I think that one should be lower.
Yeah.
So the game below it is Destiny 1.
I'd move Destiny 2 above higher. I put Destiny 2 at I'm Destiny 1.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
2. But yeah.
Okay. Should Resident Evil go below Minecraft? I say no.
No, I don't.
No, leave it there.
Leave it there.
All right. Does Minecraft? Well, we already decided. So does Rocket League deserve to go above Minecraft?
Heck yeah.
I vote yes. I think it does.
All right, I got voted out. I don't know. I was never into Rocket League, so I can't say nothing.
Should Rocket League go above Resident Evil 2? I say no.
The story of Resident Evil is what's really good, and the environment, and they really nailed that remake like so good.
That remake is fantastic. I mean, the third Resident Evil 3 remake, that'd be a different story, but
like as much as I'm not gonna go back to Resident Evil like on a daily basis, like I would do with
Mhm.
Rocket League, I still can't put it higher. I mean,
Okay.
no, definitely not.
Okay. All right. So I think that brings us to Batman Arkham Knight. Should it go above Minecraft?
I
Balls
don't
in
think
your
it
court.
should.
No.
Okay. All right. Batman stays where it is. Dragon Age Inquisition. Should that be higher? It is
I
currently
think
8th.
it should go above Arkham.
I can
Personally.
put it above Arkham. I'm fine with it going above Arkham. I'm also not fine with it going above Arkham.
I would have put it like at number 2.
You want to put Dragon Age Inquisition at number 2
Yeah.
above Fallout?
I forgot
I mean-
about that guy on the list.
I mean,
That's
me personally,
Yeah.
I think it's better than the other games we have above it. I was just trying to be diplomatic here. I mean, if it's got the votes, it's got the votes.
It's such a good game.
I
It's-
can't get behind a superhero game. Like, I don't know. That's
Oh,
gonna be my that's gonna
we're
be
talking
my
about Dragon-
Minecraft
we're talking about
controversy.
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. Oh
Yeah, Batman's
Yeah.
staying where it is.
yeah, thank God. Sorry. I
Dragon
get on
Age.
tangents.
Me and Tom, number 2.
Number 2, I don't think Fallout,
I
no.
would put it above number.
but if the votes, I
It's
lose.
got the votes. It's got the votes.
Starting to
Okay.
feel very anti-northern up here.
Okay, number 9. Number 9 currently is A Plague Tale. Does that belong above Batman Arkham Knight?
Yes.
I think Batman's a better game.
You do?
Yeah, no, I take that back, Batman, for sure. It just had way more
I'm
content.
fine. I'm fine with A Plague Tale being where it is. Knowing how good Batman is, I'm fine with it staying number 9. Number 10 currently, as it rose from the dead, is Master Chief Collection. Does that deserve to be higher?
I'm fine with it at number 10. I'm happy
Yeah.
we're even able to bring it back to the list. I felt bad that I kicked it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
miscount.
glad with that.
Oh, wait, I miscounted. It's number 11.
God
Oh, no.
damn it.
Mhm.
So it's already gone? Okay.
I'm sorry, unless you guys want to put it above A Plague Tale or Batman.
Yeah. I'm down for both of those.
I would not put it above Plague Tale, but it's up to you, Tom.
I think Master Chief died again, and he shouldn't be on the top 10 again, unfortunately.
I'm afraid, you guys. Just remember this, viewers. I gotta do it. Even
All
if
right.
we're on the same team, it's gonna happen.
Okay, guys. Our final top 10 list. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice coming in number 1. Number 2, Dragon Age Inquisition. Number 3, Fallout 4. Number 4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 5, Destiny 1. Number 6, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Number 7, Rocket League. Number 8, Minecraft. Number 9, Batman Arkham Knight. And number 10, A Plague Tale Innocence. I think it's a good list. I think that has a lot of good games. I think it has a pretty diverse selection of games. It has some single-player games, RPGs, shooters. I'm good with that. I think that accurately reflects the best of Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have any top 10 even close to this at all. Like anywhere. The fact that Minecraft's on there and Rocket League, I thought they weren't gonna make it, but they did.
It's definitely an I wouldn't
Well,
say other
the
gaming
reasons that
podcasts
they
would have
made
this.
it, right? It's they got the content. I can't lie. It felt weird first playing that game. Like, dude, I'm an older dude, but then again, a fucking 40-year-old got me to play it. He's like, dude, trust me. My little kid got me on this game. Punch a tree. You'll understand. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, no, I fully came to understand the phenomenon that is Minecraft with that. So
I mean, there's a lot of games that should be on this list too still. But
Oh yeah, no.
Mm.
It's
I mean, for
what
example,
are
one of the big
honorable
ones is
mentions at?
oh yeah, go ahead.
Or did those ones already disappear?
Huh?
No,
Do you
he
still
has
got the
honorable mentions.
honorable?
I haven't gone over honorable mentions. I deleted them.
Okay, that's fine. It
Oh.
doesn't matter. But one of the games that I'm sure that people are going to be complaining about that's not on the list is Witcher 3. Witcher
Yeah.
3,
Yeah, no.
hot take, it's not as good as you guys think it is.
I agree. I can't. It's boring.
Yeah, the part that lost me is you got ready for the fight, you hunted it down. Now let's go find some roots. Let's get this thing for our thing It's just that's where it lost me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the story. I finished the core game, didn't play the DLCs, but yeah, no, I didn't like going through and the whole preparation part. It lost me. Don't get me wrong, I'm still excited for Cyberpunk, but that's because I didn't notice too much of the preparation, more of the dialogue choices and shit, and I love that. So I'm way more excited.
Just another hot take from the Project XTalk crew here.
Yeah.
I think we'll wrap it up now that we have our definitive top 10 lists. That's probably going to anger some people. Probably going to, controversial takes. Controversial takes were thrown out here. Before we go, I want to remind everyone to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Project XTalk. Follow us on Twitter at Project XTalk. Our Facebook, also Project XTalk. You can follow me personally on Twitter at the Muffin Mon. It's a 1 instead of an I. And where can everyone find you guys, Tom?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chronicle Tom. You guys can find me on Xbox. Actually, I don't even know what my numbers are. I'll send that to you guys. And I'll put it in my Twitter, and you guys can see it from there. Add me on my Xbox. And that's really about. Oh, you guys can see me on YouTube too. At Chronicle Tom, Chronicle Gaming.
Garrett?
Twitter, Way1G, and my gamer tag, Way1G. I'm pretty simple. And
all right.
That's about it for me.
Well, this was the last episode before Xbox Series X comes out in just a few days. So next week, we're going to be giving our first impressions on the Xbox Series X. We all should have it, I believe. So we're going to be talking about, how's the hardware, what games we're playing, our first impressions. So make sure you come back next week. And on that,
have a good night, guys. Yep, peace out.